Hey there, lovelies. This is Janine from Sideline Prep. I hope you are having a fabulous Wednesday. I am in beautiful San Francisco, California. It is so warm here, so amazing. And it is actually the calm after the big Super Bowl storm. So things have settled down a little bit. But speaking of the Super Bowl, I could not help but, of course, watch the cheerleaders during the game. And I constantly found myself wondering what they were feeling and what was going through their heads as they were at the Super Bowl cheering. Now, unfortunately, with my 8 years in the NFL, I never got to experience a Super Bowl. But one thing that I strive for and that I aim for with Sideline Prep is to help young women like you experience the Super Bowl one day, or the Pro Bowl, or just an NFL or NBA game or a semi-professional game, and be able to be in their shoes and dance next to professional cheerleaders. That is why we exist. So with that in mind, I kind of wanted to cover a question that came up a couple of weeks ago at our Pro Cheer workshop. So basically, if you were not there, here's how it works. We have one day full of choreography and dance. We have the best and the most elite coaches and directors come in and teach choreography and then answer questions. Then on day 2, ladies come in for a mock audition, and they actually get one-on-one personal feedback from each of the judges that are there representing a team. So I got a follow-up email after the mock audition that I wanted to share with you. It says, in years past during mock auditions, I have been highlighted at the end for standing out at some point during the process and/or asked to demonstrate choreography or freestyle. I know that sometimes in life you win some and sometimes you just learn. I did not get recognized this year. I did want to ask, where did I need to improve this year? Where could I tweak things to make sure I do stand out? So I think this is a wonderful, wonderful question, and I obviously personally gave her some specific feedback. But first of all, I just wanted to give kudos to her and all of our other lovelies that attended that mock audition, because it is a very trying process to go through an audition. I also wanted to just congratulate this young lady for emailing me for feedback. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I'm always encouraging people after auditions to email the coaches and directors and just see if they have any specific feedback. So that in and of itself says a lot about this young woman, that she's actually emailing me and asking for feedback. I also just wanted to mention that at any type of mock audition or prep class or a workshop, sometimes the coaches or directors do, call out or give kudos to young ladies that stand out. Just because you are not specifically mentioned does not mean that you should get discouraged or frustrated or give up. It just means that maybe the person next to you on the right or left, in front or behind you, maybe did something a little bit better to stand out. So please don't take it personally, don't give up on the process, and don't think that you weren't noticed just because maybe you did not get called out at the end. So in kind of formulating a response to this, I wanted to figure out a way to just address the question in general for all of you. So I came up with my top 10 tips that our lovelies did correctly to help them stand out at the mock audition. So I wanted to quickly go over those top 10 things, and hopefully these will help you and you can jot them down and look over them before you go into your next audition. Number 1, our lovelies had the look, and actually the judges could tell which ladies were either part of an ambassador program or a training program and or our lovelies and had worked with us. They literally just looked the part from head to toe, their makeup, their hair, their audition outfit, everything. Number 2, they were physically fit and toned, and their bodies were what we call calendar ready, meaning that they could literally go on a calendar trip and get in front of that photographer and go ahead and shoot their pictures. So their bodies just looked the part. You really have to think about that when you go into an audition process. Do you look like you could fit in and look good in their audition outfit or a bikini? Number 3, the way that they entered or exited the actual audition room. That is sometimes the first impression that you give the judges, is when you first walk in. Some of our lovelies walked in with confidence, with a strut, and they made eye contact with the judges immediately. And that really does set the tone. In addition, once it was over and they were asked to exit, they went out with confidence. So just keep that in mind as well. Number 4, their overall poise and presence just exuded confidence and happiness, and just that they were there having fun and that they wanted to be there. So you really need to think about what your body language is telling the judges as you're standing there in front of them, as you're speaking, and obviously as you're dancing. Number 5, speaking of speaking, great public speaking skills. So in this round of our mock audition, we actually did an introductory where they had to introduce themselves and just give a quick little, fun fact about themselves. So our lovelies really did a good job with speaking and projecting and making eye contact, making our judges laugh, or really just impressing our judges with either their work and their profession or the community service that they had or any trials and tribulations that they had been through, and openly sharing those things with our judges. Up next, they nailed their chance in the spotlight. And so what that means is that at most auditions, you're gonna have maybe 1 or 2 opportunities where it's all about you, either through your intro speech, or maybe they will have you learn and actually come up with your own choreography and perform your own choreography in front of them, or maybe freestyle or across the floor. There's some element where you're gonna be kind of singled out to show what you have and kind of be your chance in the spotlight. At this particular mock audition, our lovelies nailed it. When it was their opportunity to do their unique skills, they brought their A game. So one thing to keep in mind, if you have to perform some sort of technique or dance or something that you made up, make sure that you highlight the best of your best. If you're not very technical and maybe you're very flexible, go ahead and throw in some kicks and leaps. If you are technical, make sure you put that technique up front in your routine. Number 7, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but eye contact. Not just when you walk in or when you're leaving, but also when you're standing there giving your intro speech. Eye contact even when you're performing. So one mistake that a lot of our lovelies made was there were mirrors behind the judges and they watched themselves dance the entire time. Don't do that. You already know you're beautiful. You already know that you look good. So what you want to do is not look at yourself in the mirror, but make sure that you pay attention and look at the judges instead. Number 8, they were very comfortable with the choreography. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't make a mistake. We understand that in an audition situation, you may make a mistake, right? But what this does mean is that you have practiced the choreography and you try your hardest to nail it and perform it. In this situation, all of our lovelies learned the routine the day before. So really, they had an entire evening and morning to practice their material. So they should have come in the next day and nailed it. So keep that in mind for your audition. If you do have an evening to review it and go over it, make sure you come in the next morning knowing it. However, if you learned it maybe 30 minutes or an hour before you have to go in front of the judges, if you do make a mistake, it's all right. Don't show it on your face, brush it off, and keep moving. And you want to make sure that number 9, you recover quickly. So if you happen to make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You just want to make sure that you recover and not let it show on your face. Just figure out where you need to be, what move you should be at, and just jump right in. Number 10, they performed their performance and they had fun. That is the biggest thing. They really just showed the judges that they were really enjoying themselves. Yes, was it nerve-wracking? Yes, was it a situation maybe that they didn't want to be in? Because auditions are very intimidating and scary at times, but they didn't show it. They were just having fun. All right, well, those are your top 10 tips that our lovelies actually did correctly at the mock audition that I want to make sure that you put into practice as well. All right, well, I hope that that was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and be sure to share it with your friends. Also, go to our website, sidelineprep.com. There's some free training there if you're interested, and follow us on all of our social media outlets as well. All right, well, I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. It is beautiful here in San Francisco, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go for my run now. And that's about it. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Make it a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. All right. I am in beautiful, sunny San Francisco, California. It is the calm after the storm of the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl.